welcome back to my channel, NefraMoorePresents. I know it's been a while. I want to apologize to my 22 subscribers. However, it's been a while because I have really been in research and redefining mode for myself. And when I talk about research and redefining mode, one of the things that God is really dealing with me on is that spirit of fear. And I know you guys know that fear. I know you know that fear of being judged, or that fear of not making it, or that fear you won't be successful, or even that fear that you're not not as far as you would like to be in life. So you think you might not get there. Whatever fear that you're dealing with, a lot of things that I deal with in my life, I decide to confront and face and be like, you know what, I got to get this. I got to understand, why am I feeling this way? So one of the things I did was have the fear, faith, and focus session. Because I've learned that in this life, we have more power than we think we do. We think a lot of things are out of our hands. We think that our life is just what it is. And we know we can change some things, but some things we think we can't change at all. And I'm here to let you know with the Fear, Faith, Focus workshop that your life is in your hands. You literally get to create it from the foundation all the way up to the finish line, which you never really finish. But if we had to measure it, that's where I really want you guys to go there. So at the beginning of my workshop, I kind of talked a little bit about the subconscious mind of God. And so I'm actually going to show some clips of the workshop a little bit and what we were talking about and how we discussed it. Again, it's an intimate setting. And so I'm going to really talk about and engage with you guys on what the subconscious mind of God is, because some people think God don't have a subconscious mind. And for a long time, I didn't think he had one either. You know, God is smart enough to handle it all and do it all. And you know what? He is. But if you had some things that can just automatically operate for you, such as your mind and your subconscious mind, and we're created in the image of God, wouldn't it stand to reason that God not only has his own mind, but a subconscious mind? Well, I was able to actually figure that out, and I am so excited about it. So here's a clip talking about the subconscious mind of God and a little bit of how it works, and just giving you some insight into the workshop. Enjoy. So what God has done in his subconscious mind is place laws to go on autopilot. You either know how to work them and understand them, or you become unconscious to God. With your conscious, it's all connected. So one of the things we're going to talk about in the subconscious today is we're going to talk about the law of creation, because it has a lot to do with fear. Because I learned fear is not natural, it is not normal, it is even a learned behavior. It is a learned emotion. Fear. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, because y'all don't know, I deal with fear a lot. Me and Ronnie talk about it a lot, you know. I deal with fear a lot. Who deals with fear a lot? Now. Okay? When I found out fear was not natural nor normal, and that I did not even have to entertain it, my mind was blown. It was absolutely blown. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about law of creation. And let me tell you what the law of creation is. Law of creation, you've never thought of what?
She was just saying, like, of course, because babies, they're not afraid of anything.
They ain't afraid of nothing.
So like you said, it's learned.
Wow. It's learned. But guess what? They say hate is learned. And that's an emotion.
Right. It is. Right.
When I found this out, revelation, right? So one of the things that we're going to talk about is the law of creation. And what I've learned is that in God's subconscious, he set universal laws in place to just automatically operate like our subconscious is on autopilot. So we can actually get to the conscious mind of God if we become conscious of his universal laws. And one of his universal laws that I have been studying vividly is laws of creation. They're very simple laws, But ultimately, what happens is you get to create what you want. Fear stops you. Why? Because in your subconscious, all of the memory experiences and skills and emotions that you've had in your entire life come to your forefront. Because to have what I want becomes uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable, your subconscious kicks in to try to help you. But all it knows is that you need help. It doesn't care what it's giving you. So of course, if we want to be a motivational speaker, like myself, right? We want to be like that. Stage fright can kick in. It doesn't matter that I want to do it. If I let my fear kick in, which is probably stage fright, right? The subconscious will then tumble everything I've ever said about myself on stage fright into my conscious. Because you think about stage fright, well, all that knows is a fear response. Remember, our subconscious has no logic. It just helps us. It just tries best to help us and manifest. But the law of creation states that you are always a spirit. You were a spirit before you were born. You were a spirit now, and you will be a spirit long after your physical body expires. The law of creation states that God is in one God is in all. You are of God, and God is of creation. Here's the thing. God's done creating. He done. That's what we're for. But we have to understand the God in us. And that's what we don't recognize because we don't tap to the subconscious mind of God. The law of creation is just one of them. There are like 7. It's like 12 or 7 of them. 7 or 12 of them. The next one is you get back what you put out. That's another law within creation. You get back what you put out. And this is not the what's go around, come around thing. What you experience that puts you in a negative or a positive space, you're going to give to the next person. That's going to come back to you. And that's your thought life. Whatever you're thinking about with your experiences, with your skills, with relationships, all of that is going to actually come back to you. So I think I can't find a man. Guess what's going to happen? And here's the thing. You can have a conversation with your girlfriend where you're like, girl, I'm going to get married. I'm going to find a man. And in the back of your mind, something says, no, you're not. Who's had that conversation before? Not necessarily about a man, but we could be sitting here talking all positive and girl, I love you too. And in the back of your mind, something say, you ain't all that. You know you scared. You know somebody gonna come get you. Fear. Right? So I read this book called Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. And he called them thoughts and the sponsoring thought. So you know how you have a thought about something and then it turns around and you have an opposite thought about that thing. And I'll use Paige as an example. I gotta tell you, Paige says, I'm gonna get up and go to the gym. She told me this yesterday. I'm gonna get up and go to the gym. The next thought was, no, you're not. So guess what she did? She did. Because the sponsoring thought is what holds up the thought. And if the sponsoring thought is opposite, guess what you're gonna do? The opposite. So when we talk about the laws of creation, we have to understand that fear is the #1 killer for you to create your world. #1 killer. And a lot of us don't believe because we think fear is normal. Don't we? We've been told that. You should have a healthy fear of overeating. You should have a healthy fear of this. You should. No such thing. 2 Timothy says God has not given us a spirit of fear. And then it's a period after that. God has not given us a spirit of fear, period. Okay? But he's given us a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. And I think all of that comes in that order. Because in order to gain your power, you first got to know how to love you to gain your power. Your power then comes a sound mind. Okay? Everything in your life that you're experiencing right now, you are manifesting. The other law of creation is that everything is going to change. It is going to change no matter what. You can't stop it, but you can control the outcome of the change. Sometimes things get bad, sometimes things get good. But you can control the outcome simply by your thoughts. So one of the things God did for me is he took me to the Word of God once again, right? He took me to the Word of God. Yeah, I still read the Bible. It's okay. So, he took us to the Word of God, and we all know that scripture. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I don't know about y'all, but I'm standing in my truth. For many years, I didn't get it. Did you get it? Did you get it, Celeste? Because we was in church together. Did you get it? You know I ain't got it. I'm like, faith is the substance of things hoped for. So what's the substance? I had to ask myself that. What's the evidence? Because I ain't know. I'm like, look, and I'm a licensed and ordained minister, y'all. I'm just going to put that on out there right now. I didn't know. Right? So really what it says is the faith is the substance of things hoped for. So faith is your thought life in what you hope for. The word substance means thoughts. Evidence means to be. So faith is your thought life of what you hope for, but you get to be what you don't see. Just be. You don't see that you're wealthy. First, let's get in a wealthy state of mind. Let's be wealthy. What would wealthy people do? Sit amongst other wealthy people. Just be. Right? What would happy people do? Kick it with happy people. The minute they see her or see something negative, they run. Like, yeah, we good. I ain't doing that. No, not doing. Gotta go. Gotta go. But so one of the things he let me know is when you talk about the substance, you're talking about your thought life. And your thought life is actually what controls your entire world. It controls the entire world. Everything that's coming from you, from your income to your physical, to your mental, to your family, to your work, to your car, to your... Everything came from you. Everything will continue to come from you. It won't stop. Because God ain't creating no more. We are. No more Mary impregnated by the Holy Spirit. The days are over. You build with somebody. You are the creator. And see, we always think, right, guys? You know, you always think, hey, you know what? God's just going to create a situation. God's going to make a way. God's going to do God's going to do this. God's going to do that. Don't y'all hear people? God's going to make a way. He's the how. You are the what. Meaning, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want a life of prosperity? So now you have to think prosperous in order to get there. But what happens is your subconscious mind has programmed you through past experiences to be that way. I grew up poor. I did. I grew up poor. We talked about this a lot, you know. So I had a poor mentality for a very long time. Just got out of my poor mentality 4 years ago. I figured I was always scraping to pay electric, gas, put food in the house. Like that was my life. I was just scraping to pay those bills and keep my head above water because I had a poor mentality. It wasn't until I started investing in myself and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this. Things begin to happen. And I was like, wow, I said I was going to do it and I'm doing it. Like, wow. But I never thought, really deep down thought, that I could. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it happened and sometimes it didn't. Does that make sense? Because in my subconscious planet, popping. And so I figured, this is life. I kept counting my coins. But what I want you to understand is when it comes to fear, faith, and focus, fear is a learned behavior. It's not natural, nor is it normal. It ain't from God. It is from you. And you get to change it. That's what's so exciting. I was like, yes! You get to change it. When I figured out how, and I'm still working on it, okay? I got some tips for you guys when you walk out of here with. When you figure out how to change it, you can actually change it. You get to create your world. Point blank, plain and simple, whatever it is that you want to do. But before you create your world, you first got to understand what you're thinking about. Consciously. So that's what we're going to get into right now. Here's a little questionnaire I want you to fill out. Fear is a learned behavior, people. Let me tell you something. We talk about how hate is a learned behavior and that we are instinctively born with love. You got to understand that we are instinctively born with love. And We learn those negative behaviors through our upbringing, our experiences, things that we have. And a lot of times we want to blame it on the devil, but no, it's you. The fear is coming from you. Nobody but you. So we're going to get into the next clip because they did fill out the questionnaire. And we really begin to have a conversation about what you're thinking about. Because in order to flip it from fear to faith, because faith is also learned, which we'll get into that. In order to flip it from fear to faith, you first got to understand what you're thinking about constantly and why you're thinking about those things constantly, because a change can come for you if you change your mind. It all begins in the mind. Listen up, guys. You think that if you get a better job and you make more money, that the circumstances are going to change. No, but if you never change your mindset, it's not going to happen. You think that if I get the car, I'll be happy, or I'll be better, or I'll be this, or I won't have to do this. Yeah, you may not have to ask anyone for a ride, but that's still not going to change your state in your mind. You'll still have certain thoughts and mentalities in your head about yourself and your life. You first have to change your mind. You change your mind, you change your life. I am just a firm believer in it. Okay? So the next clip is coming up, bounces us back into the workshop, and let's see what happens. That's kind of 4 elements to it. The first one is that you have always existed. You existed before you were born, you exist now, and you'll exist long after your physical body expires. The next part of that is God is all is God. God, everything in the creation is of God, point blank, plain and simple. The third one to that is you get what you put out. You get back what you put out. And again, people think that's what goes around comes around, but that's not. They talk about putting out in your thoughts. So you get out of your life what you put out in your thought life. So your life is literally a reflection of what you're thinking about all the time. And then the fourth one is everything changes. It is going to change no matter what. You're changing at this very moment. Everybody in here is changing minute by minute. So what we have to do is learn to operate in the law of creation in order to be able to create. Because God ain't creating nothing new. All the land has been built. The seas, there's not a new sea coming out next week. There's not a new cloud that we know of, because we can't even keep track of the ones we got here now. We just know it's raining, right? There's no new rainforest that's going to be developed by God. He's done. So when it comes to the law of creation, you have the power. If you are spirit prior to you even being born, your spirit now, your spirit after you're gone, that says you're in God and God is in you. You're created in His image. So you get to create. How do you create? Your thought life. Okay? So one of the things is when you talk about faith, first I want you to understand faith is complete trust and confidence in the God in you. Because again, the law of creation says that He is all and God is all and all is in God and all creation comes of God. So God is in you. Get that. Just get that. Okay, I don't care what religion you are, what church you go to, what denominational, Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, whatever. God is in you, point blank, plain and simple. He is in you at all times. Now, you can change your thoughts in order to change your life. You must change your thoughts in order to change your life. So His praise is God. Anyway, you must change your thoughts in order to change your life. There is no obstacle or undesirable circumstance to the mind of God. Point blank, plain and simple, right? Therefore, you must remember that God is in you and only wants what you want because He designed you and He created you. So if you want it, that's because He designed you to want it. However, you must give yourself permission to have it, and then you will receive it. But first, you must think it. So let's think about what you want from life and write it below. It could be anything, so don't hold back. Who wants to share what they want? Yes! What you want?
Something. So I want to get my degree, and I want to open up my own youth center with a dance studio.
Okay, great. If you already had what you wanted, how would you feel?
I said that I would feel accomplished.
Okay, okay. And if you had what you wanted, how would you tell someone about it?
So I said that I would tell them that hard work pays off, and you have to have faith in yourself and trust God in the process.
So down below, I have a little excerpt here, right? So her thing is, the one thing she wants is to get the degree, open up a youth center. How would she feel? You gotta know how, she said accomplished, right? Okay, that's great. But what else? How else would you feel? We talk about accomplishment. Like, I don't know how accomplished feels. Does that feel elated? Are you excited?
I would feel excited.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Proud, there you go.
Okay. Well, one of the things I want you to understand is that you, at the bottom, I said down there, in order for you to manifest what you want, you gotta be. You gotta put yourself in that, I got the degree, I got the youth thing already. How is that feeling? And your thoughts gotta go on that all day as much as possible. There must be a focus thing, guys. You gotta not only feel the accomplishment, but you gotta feel the feeling. That is part of being. A lot of times you're like, oh, I want my own, but we never allow ourselves to know what that feels like. Does that make sense? And that's part of the faith portion. It's not just saying I want the degree. It's saying I got it and having the feeling. That's faith. But that requires focus all the time. That requires focus in the morning when you wake up. That requires focus while you're at work, working a job that you may not want, right? That requires focus driving home, focus at home, focus going to bed. You got to focus on that feeling. And that's what is becoming difficult, and that's why we never manifest anything or change the subconscious. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to talk about how we can actually change. Remember, when we talk about God is of creation, and He, of course, He created everything. Now it's our turn to create, and you get to create. Okay, and let me tell you something, guys. This is my first time. I ran across this maybe probably a month ago, okay? Because I felt stagnant and stuck in my walk and stuck with what I was doing. Even with these workshops, I'm like, Lord, I'm stuck. I can't go no further. But He began to open my eyes up just to a new idea of who God is. Because we got God in a box a lot of times, don't we? Like, even with church and religion, we put Him in a box. You can't wear pants, you can't wear fornicate, all homosexuality, going to hell, all that. Take God out that box. Okay, just because it's not what you're doing, it's why you're doing it. Okay? So one of the things I want you guys to understand that in order for me to actually get this, I had to really begin to practice it. Okay? So let me tell y'all what happened. So I ran into this, like I said, I read a couple of books that opened my eyes up to the laws of the universal spiritual law. I really started to get into trying to manifest things that I wanted to manifest. And so I was doing meditations, and I'm actually going to share a meditation that I do with you guys here today. And so one week came up, and I was facing some challenging things, right? So in my meditation time, I meditate before I go to bed, and I meditate when I wake up. But when I go to bed, I have an app on my phone that has my voice saying my meditations. And so I listen to that as I go off to sleep, because I learned that in your subconscious is being programmed by what you hear or what you think about while you're going to sleep. So think about what's on your mind while you're going to sleep, because that means you are programming your subconscious to make you feel that way or think that way or be that way consciously when you wake up. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and give this a try. So we can do this. Because when I'm sleeping, sometimes I'm watching Golden Girls, or, I got a little movie on, or, I'm looking at something, you know what I'm saying? But what I wasn't realized was, even with that TV on, I was programming my subconscious. Because just because I'm asleep doesn't mean I can't hear, I'm just not conscious to it. Are you following me? Okay. So then what happens, that's when you fall asleep. Back when you was a little teenager, that made sense. Because you fall asleep, that music in my ear. Tell me what you want. You going to sleep, and now you want to.
Right.
Now you gonna give up your cookies now, right? And you ain't even all that cute, but come on. Come on, y'all, we been there, right? Come on. He get on my nerves, whatever, but come on. But that's actually the mind being programmed. Subconsciously, though. Because remember, the subconscious remembers absolutely everything. So I said, I go to sleep, I listen to myself, I actually meditate between minutes prior to going to sleep. I do some work, I do some reading, I was working on my workshop, doing some things. And then when I go off to bed, I have the headphones in my ear, and I'm listening to my meditation as I drift off to sleep. Now, I got a powerful voice, so I have to turn the volume all the way down, because I'll just be up like, okay, Nefra, when are you going to stop? But it just goes on repeat in my ear. So one of the things that happened to me, and I know, because I know me, right, and I know my relationship with God, God has to show me how things work. So life is great, life is going on, and everybody know me personally. I'm a pretty upbeat person. You don't get the same Nefra every day. I may be a little more mean to you one day than I was the next, but guess what? I love you, right? Okay, I love you. So let me tell y'all what happened to me. So at work, I had to train something new. I had never trained this before. Okay, so I was like, okay, I don't think I'm ready for this. That's what I said, conscious. But subconscious, I'm meditating. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get the class, right? Monday roll around, I find out I didn't get the position that I wanted. That's okay, because really deep down inside, I kind of didn't want it, But anyhow, no one likes rejection, right? So I'm like, you know what? We good. Tuesday roll around, and I find out my sister passed away. And matter of fact, she passed away that Monday, but we didn't find out till that Tuesday night. And I'm like, oh my God, because I've been trying to get in contact with her for months. Come to find out she had been in and out of the hospital. Like, we just didn't know all this information. So I'm like, oh my God, in my mind, here I am. This is so messed up. Oh my God, this is heartbreaking. This is what I'm saying to myself consciously. But then I'm going to bed with my meditation in my head, right? So then Wednesday, cool, all right, nothing eventful, okay, we good, all right, it was a good day, all right, great. Thursday came around, I don't get paid. I didn't get a paycheck in my account. Trees, that's the look I had. When I checked, Trees, I'm like, we're supposed to have a couple more. What happened? So I'm like, okay. I text my boss. I come into HR. He gives me the number payroll. I call them. And they say, oh yeah, you changed your bank account information June 4th. I said, no, I didn't do that. Now, mind you now, the whole process from notifying my boss, to talking to HR, to contacting payroll, I'm extremely peaceful. And a part of me got a problem with that. But the other part of me like, where is this coming from? I should get a little more money. After all, it's my money, right? So then, so I talked to them. They was like, oh, the bank, well, change it back, and the bank has to reject it. It's going to take 2 business days after the original payday. We get paid on Thursday. So I had to wait Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to receive the funds on Tuesday. I really am not having a problem right now. Like, I feel great. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. My son came to me and he was like, Mama, what? I was like, you know what? I think it's the meditation. Right. I have been programming my subconscious to react appropriately because I'm tapping into the law of creation, which is the subconscious mind of God. And so since I'm tapping into that, I'm just behaving as a nuke. I was like, you know what? Because I wasn't really tripping off of it for real till my son really brought it to my attention. I knew I was fine because I had a little coin. You know what I'm saying? I had some coins. I wasn't dead broke, but I'm just saying. I'm like, I should be a little more. Exactly. So that's a little bit of the workshop, but I really wanted you guys to take a look at it simply because I really do need you guys to know what I do. And then, you know what, excuse the loudness in the background. It is at the Brentwood Recreation Center, and this lady was on the mic, and she was extremely loud. And she had like 2 people in there. So I'm like, why are you on the mic and you got 2 people? I'm not, you know. But it's okay. All right, it's okay. I didn't get on the mic and try to combat any of that. Because again, we're all one, and you know what? Whoever those 2 people were, I'm quite sure they needed it. Okay? All right. So one of the things that I really wanted to drive home with this workshop is the law of creation and the feeling. Because a lot of times, you know, we talk about faith and having faith, but faith is so much more. It's knowing. When you know something, you feel that know. When you know something, can't nobody tell you nothing else different about it. When you know it's coming, you don't even give it a second thought, really, because you know. So that's why we talked about in the questionnaire, what is it that you want? And then what is it you're feeling about that? Like, how would you feel if that was to happen? And really, you need to take time and your focus in being that or feeling that will help you be that, not only in your body, but in your mind, because you are the creator. And I believe, I totally believe that this is how God has created us and how God has wanted us to create other things outside of ourselves. When we talk about technology, you know, which is really huge, somebody had to see the thought of the television in order to create it. You know, they had to really think long term about how would that make you feel if you were the creator of television and just, oh my God. So the iPhone, the laptop, everything that you have in your life was a thought first. From your refrigerator to the stove, to the cabinets, to a bed, it all was thought first. So what are you thinking about? Because that is what you're creating. Everything that you think about is what you're creating. So at the end of my workshop, at the beginning of the workshop, I had everybody pull an envelope. And on the envelope was a word or an emotion that was constantly, that we all feel, right? From love to virtuous to anxiety to complete to whole. I had so confident. I had a whole bunch of words on an envelope, and the envelopes were sealed. All of the ladies pulled an envelope at the beginning of the workshop, and then at the end of the workshop, we opened our envelopes. And before we opened them, I let them know that what's in that envelope is what you're attracting in your life. Every single lady who opened an envelope related to that emotion or that word. And they was like, yes, I'm anxious. Yes, I'm working on trying to be complete. Yes, I feel lovely. Yes, I am virtuous. And even for me, I pulled an envelope as well. And my word was whole. Because I believe that I am. I know that I am. And that's what I attract into my life. So it was really, really powerful. We had a lot of great discussions. I only showed you clips and snippets. I didn't take a lot of their discussion because, again, it's a safe space. And the people who were shown on my video speaking, I got permission for them to speak. So don't think that you're going to end up on my video in the event that you come to a workshop. I'm just asking you to come on out because I'm going to do a Fear, Faith, Focus Part 2. And I have an amazing exercise so that you understand how you can draw good and you can draw bad into your life simply by your thoughts. But the great news is, and the wonderful news is, and what I share with these ladies, is you can change it. you really do have the power to control the outcome. Now, you don't have the power on the how, because the how helps you to remember who you are. That's God's job. God's job is the how. But you definitely can control the outcome. I pray that you enjoy this video. I'm not going to be long becoming to another one. Being on social media, working this channel, guys, you know, it's a lot. It's work. It's time consuming. And I just need to get my life together and get the time in. Yeah. So the next one is going to be on July 13th, which is a Saturday if you're in the St. Louis area. Of course, Brentwood Recreation Center, 1 o'clock. And we're going to Fear, Faith, and Focus Part 2. And this particular one is really going to hit home for myself as well, because it is really going to be about the focus. Hope that you're coming. All right? Go to NefraMoorePresents.com and register. It is a free event. It is a safe space. I hope this finds you blessed. You all have a great day.